Welcome back to season 2 of Shit That Goes On in Our Heads. We have a special edition for this season. We're going to actually do a two-parter, and we are going to introduce Pez. And in episode 1, it's kitchen capers. And in episode 2, we're going to do where a sandwich is not a sandwich.
So G-Rex, what was your favorite part of this week's episode?
Just the stories. I've never laughed so hard. I actually had to hold my head. I was laughing so hard. The two of you were like, "What's wrong with you?" And I'm like, "I have to hold my head. I can't stop laughing."
I mean, I definitely appreciate that you reeled us in, because I think we could have spent hours just reminiscing on our days in the kitchen and the moments that still traumatize us today.
I almost had to go get a pee pad. I was laughing so hard.
Yeah, well, I can't wait to have her back. Maybe season 3 we'll have Pez back on to join us, and I don't know, we can talk more about the crazy kitchen world.
It was crazy. Like, I worked in like McDonald's and Pizza Hut and a couple other kitchens, but your stories, man, bar none.
Yeah, I mean, I want to hear about Mickey D's. We need to bring it back.
No, you don't want to hear about Mickey D's because that's bullshit. Okay, that got me through high school and into college. We were good.
And that's where it stays. And now, season 2, episode 1, part 1, Kitchen Capers.
This is also a reminder that our episodes are pre-recorded because I'm going to be in Europe for 3 weeks. So if you hear my voice, I'm really not here.
Thank you. Thank you, G-Rex. I love that. And I also love that you came up with the term kitchen capers.
Yeah.
Because I think you guys both have some good kitchen capers. I don't have any good ones, but I'm going to be here to interject and kind of reel you guys in.
Okay. Yeah. I'll kick us off. So my introduction into the kitchen world probably started in high school. My very first job ever was Dunkin' Donuts. Shout out to Double D's. But yeah, so I did that in high school. And then after high school, I needed to figure out what I was going to do with my life. And in my family, you had to go to college. So jokes were on my parents, because I was like, I'm going to go to Johnson & Wales University. And I'm going to get a bachelor in baking and pastry arts. Is that where you went?
No, can I tell you, I applied and then shenanigans happened and I never went. They actually accepted me. It was like one of 3 places that I applied because college was not like it was a priority, but it was never really like, it was like a goal to work towards, right? Eventually, maybe you would get into college, but I was like, in my naivete of my senior year and junior year in high school, I was like, I'm going to apply to Johnson and Wales. The motherfuckers were like, yeah, come on, let's hang out. And then I never went. So anyways, keep going.
Yeah.
Sorry. I'm like I said, a shenaniganizer.
No. I love it. Yeah, that was part of it, right? Was like, well, I don't want to go to like a traditional school. But they came and they kind of did a spiel. And when I found out I didn't have to take my SATs to attend, I was like, no brainer, bud. Like, slide me into that program. So I did that. I did that for 4 years. I graduated with a bachelor's. Thought it was hot shit.
At that, because that is hot shit.
Oh yeah, right? Bachelor's. I was like basically a doctor. So, so I wanted, my goal at that time was to work in Boston, Massachusetts. Shout out to Beantown. And I did. I applied to a hotel. It was actually in Cambridge. I won't say the name because it actually still exists.
Yeah.
But I applied to this hotel. I got hired. My first day on the job, the pastry chef quit. It had nothing to do with me, I promise. But I literally showed up to work and the head chef was like, hey, our pastry chef quit. Can you make all these things?
Oh, for fuck's sake.
And thankfully, Johnson & Wales, they did a good job. I was completely prepared. I was like, yeah, easy, creme brulee, done. So I was able to pick up and just kind of roll with it. So
that's cool. Yeah. So how, you were like, what, 22 at that point?
Yeah, 22. I think that's right. Yeah, 22. Yeah.
Damn,
I can't imagine you at 22.
Yeah, you probably.
No. No.
Yeah.
Oh my God. Do you have graduation pictures of when you graduated Johnson and
Dude.
Wales?
I'll tell you this because like I feel like, you know, we're here already.
Oh no, we're best friends. It's fine. We were best friends the first time I heard your dulcet tones just be like, "Hi, I'm Dirty Skittles," and I'm just like, okay. Like I love G so much, and like she will forever be like entwined into the DNA of my life, right? But she brought me to Dirty Skittles, and I was like, okay.
I love that. It's so funny.
Anyway, so pictures.
Yeah. So I have something super embarrassing. I don't have it like to like just pull it out and show it to you because I pretend
I have
like
email. You can have my phone number. You can have my Facebooky. I think I have an Instagrammy too. I don't know all the things. Oh my God. I just created a Snapchat because somebody was like, I only use Snapchat. And I was like, you elitist person, you.
wow, Snapchat only.
I know. Anyways, sorry. So I will give you all my contact information. Please.
Yeah.
Please. Gee, why are you covering your forehead?
Because she's like, what is
I can't stop laughing.
Oh, okay. Did you wear your pee pad? I did.
I need
also
to go find one. I might have to get it.
Just get one of the cat pads. It'll be fine.
Just hover over the litter box. You're gonna be just
Okay, we're getting off topic. I'm sorry.
So yeah, pictures. I have a really embarrassing. There's a my senior year, or yeah, is it senior? What do you call it? 4 years
Why not?
in, whatever. They did
The senior year of college? Why not?
Yeah.
Who's going to tell you no? Somebody who's going to write you an email that you could just delete. It's fine.
My last year of college, they did a program where we could be on PBS, like a cooking show, and just as an extra. Like we're not there teaching people anything, but I was an extra on this, and they took a picture, and it became like the PBS cooking show cookbook, and I'm legit on the cover, like 22-year-old Dirty Skittles. Bro, so embarrassing.
Is
My
this
mom,
Googleable?
if I could remember the name of it. My mom bought all of the copies. Like I'm sure I could scrounge
She
one
bought
up
all of the copies?
at our local.
Can she give one? Can you get one and
Just
like
autograph
sign
Dirty
it?
Skittles.
I need an autograph copy. Oh my God.
It was embarrassing. I mean, it
You're so
embarrasses me now.
famous.
No, it was that was a time in my life. But to go back to you, G-Rex, yeah, Dirty Skittles in her 20s, that was a fun time because it's the peak of kind of my introduction to the cooking world. And this hotel that I started working at was super scandalous in terms of like the staff. We were all kind of the same age. We were all kind of at the same points in our life, which was we work hard, we play hard. And I was like a baby to that world. So I jumped
So you got an education?
real quick. Jumped into the fire, started basically becoming like a stand-in pastry chef. And I'll tell the one scandalous story that immediately comes to mind was, you know, when the food service industry alone is really difficult. And when you work at a hotel, there is no holiday, no day off because the hotel's always open. So I did, God, I want to say it was like 3 or 4 months nonstop without a day off. And
That tracks.
yeah. And I was doing like 16-hour days or whatever. And so I finally come in at the end of this stint, and I'm the first one there because pastry, you're always there before everybody else.
You're there at like 3 o'clock in the morning.
Yep.
Because everybody got to have that fresh bread.
Yep. At like, you know, the point in my life where I was like, I'm fucking done with this. I'm tired. And I show up and I'm getting my ingredients together for the bread, and I need to go into the pantry. So I go all the way down this hallway, open the door, and the lights turn on. And at that time, he was a sous chef, and our front of the house manager. We're just having an intimate moment in the pantry.
Oh,
Just
sweet.
Just in it. And I thought to myself, I could leave and be like, sorry, didn't mean it, right? Or I could just go and get like the cornmeal I needed. And it was right underneath her leg. And I was like, excuse me. And I just scooped up the cornmeal, and I was like, thank you, and just walked right out. And I was like dying laughing because I was just like, I'm such a fucking bitch. Like I could have, you know, just backed out of that. I was like, nah, I'm here. I got to make this bread.
I made it all the way down this damn hallway.
Yeah. Look,
Listen, I'm counting steps at this point.
Yeah. Yeah, and that was like the first kind of crazy thing. There was also, some of the staff there had extracurricular activities that they would oftentimes bring with them to work.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
yeah, and there was times where there were powders on my bake top that were not flour. That was another one. And I was like, at this time, I was like kind of innocent. So I was seeing this stuff like, what the fuck is going on? Like, who are these people? What are they doing? And you just kind of have
and then
to
you're
like,
you're the only asshole in the whole place that has like a sanitizer bucket under your station.
Yeah,
and you're like sanitizing the shit off, and people are like, "What are you doing?"
Yeah, and I'm like, why my table? Like I took everything super personal. I'm like, what the fuck? Like I'm just here making bread. I got these people screwing in the back. I've got like Coke on my table over here. Sorry, producer, you can edit that out. I don't know if I'm allowed to say that.
You can say that.
And I'm like, this is like the craziest industry, and that sort of like kind of jump started like that actually ended up turning out to be one of my favorite places to work because it was just so chaotic and so just wild. But we all became really close and became best friends. And
yeah, they're your best trauma friends, trauma bonded friends.
Trauma bonding. That's totally what it is.
It's totally what it is.
Yeah. Is that where you met Bizzle?
No.
Oh.
Are you kidding? I met Bizzle at the, well, I can say it because they're not around anymore, at the Peabody on International Drive. I was working in the bake shop. Bizzle was in IT. And I saw him one day. I was coming into work and he was out back smoking because he was like a cool kid, right? Like smoking cigarettes, freaking blue-black hair, like gauged out ears, tattoos. And I was
What's
like,
the matter with blue hair?
Nothing. I loved it.
Okay.
Like I was like, this is this guy, right? Like this is everything I need in life. Found out he was in IT based on his uniform. And I was like, well, we got a printer and a computer. And so I would just start like unplugging stuff. And I don't know, I gotta call IT to come down and fix my printer. And I didn't know his name.
Are you sure that's all he was fixing was the printer?
At that time, yeah. He had no idea who I was. He was like, there's this weird girl that just keeps staring at me. So that's how I met Bizzle. He was a very, well put together guy. So
you guys are so cute.
Like the kind of guy you want to bring home to mom. Yep.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Sure, why not?
Basically.
Hey, Pez, do you have anything fun to add to this?
No, I'm a terrible bore. So but I can tell you about. So I'm the oldest of 4 children in the household that I grew up in, and so my dad was active duty, and my mom was a waitress, host. She was in the food service, right? So I grew up kind of making dinners for my siblings because when dad was home, mom was at work. When mom was home, dad was at work. So, right, like that was the space that I grew up in. And so like you still had to feed the brothers and the sister. And then, so I grew up cooking. And then I have like memories of my grandmother teaching me how to make the family donuts and how to make sausage gravy and biscuits, and every Saturday she'd make a big breakfast, and like the aunts and uncles would come over and the cousins would come over, so like food is a big part of how I grew up, right? And well, I guess it is for a lot of families, like food is just like a part of every family's culture, right? And then, so I grew up and I was like, oh, I want to be a chef. I'm going to do culinary arts things. This is going to be amazing. I can't wait. So I applied to like CIA, and I applied to Johnson & Wales, and I applied to somewhere else. I can't remember where. And Johnson & Wales replied back, like I said. And they were like, yeah, you can come be with us for a little while. And then shenanigans happen, life goes on, and I didn't end up getting to go. So my first time in they were a steakhouse in a small, very touristy, upscale sort of space, right? And I started so it was like a May to October, September, well, Memorial Day to Labor Day, right? season. And so I was like, I'm going to do all the things. I'm a badass. I can do anything I want, right? Because you're 18 years old and you're like, I can take on the world. And then you realize that you're going to be the fry bitch in between the char across from the steam table next to the stove. And there's 2 fryers and there's 20 feet of steam tables and the char. I mean, if anybody knows what a char is, it's the giant piece of equipment that humans with cojones of steel stand in front of for, I don't know, 8 to 23 hours a day, just grilling meats at 550,000 degrees, right? Like, it is
hot,
intense, right? And I'm a fat kid. I didn't even know what it was like to like sweat this much. And all I have to do is get the fucking French fries on the plate, right? Like French fries and fish portions, because it was like a Friday night. I lasted 3 weeks. I was a hot fucking mess. I was crying. I'm a crier anyways. Like, like no, but it's my process. Like I get overwhelmed. I cry. I get mad. I cry. I get happy. I cry. I get like, it's just my process, the things that I do. And so I would drive home exhausted after a 6-hour shift, because I'm, I don't know anything. You go there at like 4:00, you prep it out. You're just a body to fill a space at that point, trying to get somebody to do the things, right? So that the char guy doesn't have to do the fries and the char and the gravies and right. I cried so much. Aww. It was so much. But then I realized, I was like, this shit is not for me. This is not for me. Not a safe choice for my body. Right. So that was the first like paid job outside of high school that I had. I found out that I did not have the cojones at 18 to do that. But when I was 16, I just remembered when I was 16, have you heard of chicken wing night?
Sort of.
So
we did wing Wednesdays. We had wing Wednesdays where it was like, we're going to go in here and eat as many wings as we could consume.
Right. Yes. Yeah. Wing night. Yeah. Yes. Okay. Perfect. So wing night. And my mom was like, we could really use some help at the restaurant. This is a very small, rural, tiny town, and like a home style restaurant. Right. And they're like, we really need help on Thursdays for wing night in the dishes. And I was like, okay, let's try that. So they're like, we'll pay you like $6 an hour. Cause this is like 1996, right? So that was like big cash for like a 16-year-old who'd like babysat. I babysat other kids. I made so much bank babysitting, like from 12 to 18 years old, that the trauma that was chicken wing night and dishes for chicken wing night just was like,
I can only imagine.
So then you have like the grease up your arms, and then there's just stacks, because the wait staff would just like stack, like they knock the crumbs and the big shit off, and then they just stack these platters of chicken wing sauce. And then you're like, ugh, how am I supposed to get this from here to here? Because they don't teach you. Like, nobody tells you how to do dishes in a restaurant. They just say, go over there, make those trash, nasty things sparkle and pretty and something you can eat off of, right? Nobody's like, here's how you close a kitchen sink, because it's different in a commercial kitchen sink than it is in your home sink. You just don't put the plug in. There's like, right?
Yeah. It's like a hot tub of shit at the end of the night.
Right. And then not even at the end of the night, you're like 10 minutes in and you've got 12 platters that you've washed and there's no bubbles left. Like, I swear to God, I dumped a whole fucking thing of Dawn into this tub. Like a tub big enough for me to like fit my ass into, right? If I really wanted to.
Yeah.
But but there's like, I've done 12 plates and there's no bubbles. And my mom, when I was little and learning all the things at the house, she was like, if you don't have bubbles, just drain it out and do it again. So here I am draining it out and doing it again every 12 platters. And the the cook behind the line was like, what the fuck are you doing? I was like, the bubbles are gone. Who gives a shit about the fucking bubbles? Knock the big shit off. Spray it with hot water. Throw it in the sanitizer.
Yeah.
Nobody gives a shit about fucking bubbles. And so I'm crying. Okay. And then the guy's like, can you just go? Just go. We're good. So yeah. So like from 16 to 18, I thought I had grown cojones. I did not. I had no testicles at all. They were no.
I mean, to be fair, they were very different learning opportunities for you. You had the heat, you had the bubbles. I mean,
yeah, I know, right? Yeah,
I'll tell you, one of the bakeries I worked at, the only time I think that I ever saw bubbles in the sink was if we had to like soak something. And we used to actually, and I'm pretty sure we like created, what is it, mustard gas if you mix the wrong chemicals, because we used to put like
bleach and ammonia or something like that, right? We legit
would put like a cap full of bleach in like the sink, and I don't know how we are here today, so somebody was looking out.
Yeah, because we were smoking.
That's true.
Right?
Getting air in the back.
There was no opportunity for any other gases and toxins to enter our lungs because we were smoking so heavily, just trying to get through the 14-hour days.
Yeah, it was like the small little glimpse of hope that you would have. Just a little bit of relaxation. Go step outside, see if it's sun up or sundown time.
Yeah, nobody gives a shit. Nobody gives a shit if you have to pee. Who cares about peeing? Like you got to take a shit, just hold it.
Yeah.
But if you get between me and my fucking cigarette, my 7.5 minutes of glory, I will fucking slit your throat. It's like I was like I've quit smoking now, but okay. So here's another one. The reason why I can say that, because I did eventually grow some balls, some kitchen balls. So when I moved away for like a long time, and then I came back, and I was a boy mom at that point. When I come back, how old am I now? So I was probably like 34, somewhere in there, 33. And I'm like, I had put myself in a situation where up until that point, I lived very frugally, and I was a single mom. I am a single mom, right? So I didn't have to work a full-time job up until that point. But when I moved back down here, I moved in with my mom and my son, and I had to find a job. That was a Monday through Friday. And I had to find a job that I could like do. He rode the bus, so I could leave after he got on the bus, and I had to get home before he got off the bus. My mom helped me find this job in a little cafe in, I don't know how to get around. It's because anybody who's going to listen to this who knows me is going to know where I worked. But also I don't know how to describe. So there was a cafe in a building that was a unique community of humans. Okay. So I was hired to do dishes. I was hired to...
Your most favorite thing to do.
Oh my
dishes.
God, so many fucking bubbles. Can I tell you? I was like, you know what?
Bubble queen.
This is what I have to do to be a single mom. This is my music montage. Right? I'm going to do the bubbles. I'm going to be like Cinderella. Something's going to happen. It's going to be fine. And this is okay. So do the dishes. I prep out a salad bar. I stay in clean after everybody, make sure the trash is out and all the things, right? I'm getting processes down. I'm doing all the things. Then, oh no, I was going to say something. There was like a point to all this. I just squirreled so hard. Oh, for fuck's sake. Anyways, I'll just keep telling you the story, and you stop me whenever you figure, like, oh yeah, this is why you were here, Kitty.
Well, we started with the cigarette break, if that helps.
I mean, this big cigarette break, right? So, so then this new company comes in and takes over this cafe in this special space. Then they hire me to do the same job, do the dishes, prep the salad bar, clean, do the floors, clean up, whatever. Fine. They're going to pay me like 50 cents more than the previous place. They're still going to give me the same hours. I'm here for it. Let's do the damn thing. Day one of the new opening, their deli lady doesn't show up. So the executive chef was like, can you stand here, be a body, and just make buffalo chicken wraps? He's like, you can do. So I'm like, oh, okay, sure. I'm like, at this point, there's not much front of house or customer facing experience that I've had. I did a little retail. I worked at the old FB, plus size clothes for humans. So that was fun for like a little while. I met my first ex-husband there. That was fun. Anyways, that's another story. So I was like, yeah, I will do the fucking thing and hope to God I don't, fuck it up too bad.
Or poison somebody.
Right. Worst case scenario is I go back to, no, I wasn't poisoning anybody because I didn't prep any of the food. So if I was poisoning somebody, it wasn't my fucking fault.
There you go.
Right. So I was like, worst case scenario, I go back to doing dishes. No big deal. So I get through the first day and I'm just like, hey, sorry, I'm usually the one who does the dishes in the background, but I'm here. So let's make some beautiful, sexy sandwiches. And everybody was kind of like, huh?
I would be so
and the
stoked.
Executive what?
I would be so stoked if I was your customer and you were like, let's make some sexy. I would be like, fuck yes, let's do it.
Right. Some fucking sexy sandwiches. But like, that's the kind of person I wanted to be, like with my customers, like here we are, no matter how we got here or what we were doing before this, we're here now. Let's feed your soul and feed your guts.
And that concludes episode 1, part 1. Tune in next week for part 2. It's okay to be not okay. Just make sure you're talking to someone.